And we are live with episode 187 of the Start, Build, Grow Show. Randy Brothers, my friend, what is going on? How we doing?
Living the dream, my friend. What do they say? Like, if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, man, Mondays are like my favorite day. I know today's Tuesday, but who loves Monday? Like, who lives for Monday?
That's
Dude,
does, it looks
You know,
like.
don't get me wrong. I love my weekends. I spend time with the family, but come Sunday, I start itching. I'm like, I'm ready for Monday because I'm ready to go back to work, man.
Yeah.
Things are
Exactly, dude.
moving when you're building businesses, when you're changing lives, when you're making things happen. And, you know, Mondays have a whole different meaning, right? And
Mhm.
my man Tim, you know, now I guess a frequent guest of the show, my man with the Hook Agency, doing his thing, man, making Mondays happen, changing lives, building businesses, doing his thing. Welcome back, bro. How you doing, man?
Thank you. Appreciate it. I'm doing very well. Yes, I love Mondays as well. I'm always, for some reason, I'm still anxious on Sunday nights. You know, they call it the Sunday scaries for some.
Mhm.
But I think it's partly because I don't get to do the work. Sometimes, I deal with anxiety by just doing more. So
I think that's the best way to deal with anxiety. I feel like, hey, when you start getting anxious, maybe you just start to get a little more busy. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So you don't have
for
time to
real.
even think about it. So what? So both you guys like what you do? Is that what you're telling me? You guys are both
Yeah.
ready for Monday morning?
Yeah, man.
I feel
Yeah.
like Nick probably likes what he does too.
I
Man.
like Monday mornings too,
Yeah.
but for those people out there, hey, they maybe struggle a little bit getting out of bed on Monday. What advice do you guys have? How about start with Tim? We've got Tim Brown with Hook Agency, our guest over here.
Thank you guys. Yeah,
Yeah.
appreciate it. Struggling with Mondays, I just think it's do more of what you. I always used to say this in a sign off. I always used to do this on a live. I always say just do a little bit more of what you love this week.
Mhm.
Find a way to do a little bit more of what you love.
Mhm.
Yeah, man.
Doesn't mean like quit your job and like go off and do something else entirely. It just means, hey, how do I spend like an extra hour doing something that actually is cool within my job today? Because then
Exactly.
gets you motivated.
Well, we'll find purpose with your job.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know, if you don't have purpose, if you're not like helping others and like seeing things evolve and grow and learning and growing, like what's fun about that, right? So I don't know if you can, whatever job it is, find purpose. But the point of this show, what number is this? 180,
187.
187.
Mhm.
And we started this show, Nick and I, almost 2.5 years ago, well, what, 3 years ago, something like that, something crazy. And the whole premise is this is sharing the entrepreneurial journey in the roofing space, roofing and construction space. And that's what led to today of the whole Monday topic is as an entrepreneur, man, if you're not thriving and excited about Mondays, maybe you're not cut out to be an entrepreneur, right? Because
Mhm.
this show is all about the entrepreneurial journey and embracing that journey. And Monday is a key factor in embracing that journey as an entrepreneur.
Mhm. And it's all about perspective, right? Perspective is reality. So when you're making your to-do list, I don't know if you guys ever heard this, your get to-do list, right? It's not I have to do this, I have to do this, right? I get to do this, I get this opportunity. So perception is so big. But Tim, before we dive into the show, we're gonna be talking about Google Maps, right? How to rank higher than Google Maps. Every local business wants to know how to rank better, right? Because we all know what kind of impact it can have on the business. But of course, we have to at least touch on it, right? Because now you're Mr. Celebrity over here, right? He's Mr. Meme King, who is just swarming the internet. So let's take a deeper dive on it, though. Okay. So as a marketer, what was this about? What happened here, and what was the objective is for your brand?
Yeah, I mean, technically there was no objective at the beginning. I just like had a few ideas for memes related to the roofing space, and like they did really, really well. And then I got an objective after that. I was like, well, I'm gonna come up with funny stuff for roofing, and I'm gonna put Hook's brand on there. I'm gonna get a lot of brand impressions because people were just sharing these everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to get attention in this modern day of the internet. It's
Yeah.
really hard to get attention. Like that's the hardest part about marketing is how do you get more attention? And so I'm just going to use this. I think the real principle is just really push into what's working, because the algorithms are changing all the time. It's kind of exhausting, to be honest with you, sometimes. Like, whoa, this 1 month this is working, this works on YouTube, and this doesn't work on Facebook, and all these different things, right? But when you do see something working, go all in, baby. Go all in, baby, because it doesn't last that long.
Yeah, that's true. It doesn't. Yeah, that is very true. But so there's some interesting things you say. It's all about attention. It's all about eyeballs, getting awareness, right? And so when you get something that people are engaging with, right, it is so big, right? When people start engaging with posts, one thing that I thought was interesting is, you do a lot of the posts from actually your personal profile. It looks like, right, and then you put the Hook Agency logo on it. Is there a reason why you did that?
Yes, sir. So the page stuff doesn't work that well.
Yeah.
I just know, I noticed, like, I post the same thing on my personal, I post the same thing on my page, and it doesn't work that well. But that also and always includes connecting with a lot of people. And yes, there is a limit to that.
Yeah.
So I've connected with probably 3,500 roofers on my personal Facebook profile. And I think roofers can leverage that to connect with more people that are active in local groups. So I look at, like, the cities that you're serving. There's always, people don't always know this, there's a city group for every city that you serve. There's somebody that has that city, community page or group on Facebook. You can join those, and then everybody is always asking in there for service providers. Like, everybody's always like, hey, do you have this or that? And it's not only just promoting when you got a roofing job, it's actually like tagging your referral partners. It's saying, like, oh, you need a pest control company, boom, here's the best one. And maybe even tagging the personal profile of that person so they see it and they remember you, because what you're trying to do is generate more referrals.
Yeah, exactly.
But my personal strategy on this is just, I got to connect with a lot of people, and I gotta post content the way I'm consuming content, which I'm consuming content in the form of memes, stories, and reels. That's all I'm consuming right now. So the truth is, whenever I post a static post, it's a little lazy, and it's a little lazy of me, because I don't really spend time on that when I'm on the app. I'm not like scrolling up the feed, like, looking for.
That's true. I don't look at any of the images really, and I'm looking for video for the most part.
And I'm mostly trying to turn off my brain. So what is that concept? The concept is, I'd prefer to have entertainment and distraction.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you can be part of the distraction, what is that? Well, I know that we're all trying to educate all the time. I know you guys educate, and we're doing educational stuff. But what if we could be part of the distraction? What if we could, I can't just, I'm not like a stand-up comedian here. I can't just be funny right now. But, the point is can we be a little bit more entertaining? Just 1% more entertaining today than we were yesterday. Because ultimately, that is the real hack, man. People are watching HGTV all the time. My mom and dad watch HGTV constantly. You know what I mean? Like, what is that? That's home improvement. That's not that far away from what we're talking about and what's cool about, roofing. Roofing is cool. And there's just more to be done on the entertainment side. And honestly, roofers have it easier than what we do. Cause I'm just,
you think they're easier? You think it's easier?
It's easier.
The content side of things, or what?
Oh yeah. On the content side, because it's
Should they be posting memes or what? Yeah. Should they be posting memes or no?
So I'm training a marketing manager right now at a roofing company that we've been helping for a long time. I'm pushing her on Reels, and I'm pushing her on TikTok or Reels, and I'm pushing her on memes. And she's sending them to me, and I'm talking through the concepts with her, because she at first was just doing them for other roofers, and that's not the audience. Stop following me. You got to do them for homeowners and just local stuff. Because you're getting distracted because but that's my audience. Think like the most important question in marketing is, who is it for?
Exactly.
Yep.
And so if they know it's homeowners in this specific area, we need to do specific area memes, which is an easy one. I think people could do more like, city focused memes, because then it's fun, because people are like, dang, no one's usually making a meme about Elk River. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
no one's usually making a meme about this local haunt. You know, like you can, like everyone wants to share that stuff. That's the same principle in roofing because my memes aren't that funny. It's just there's not that many roofing memes that are okay.
They're so related. They're just so relatable, though. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? When they're relatable, I
Yeah.
think that's huge, and that's why you're
And
saying if it's local, that makes it relatable to the homeowner.
yeah, and then another mistake that I see people make. We'll just talk about memes for like at least 5 more minutes.
Yeah, we got to.
And then we'll talk about maps. So
Randy, you know what memes are or no?
I just learned. I just learned. What, you gonna call me old or just call me disconnected or what?
Yeah, I had to mess with you a little bit.
The best memes I've found are like when there's like labels on things. I mean, I do the ones where the text on the top and then there's the image and it's like when this, you know, when you
yeah.
But the best memes are like when the labels are on things and it really does kind of like the best memes are the image is already funny before you put any text on it. That's what I've realized. Like,
Yeah,
so
I
I
agree.
shared one this morning with somebody like spilling a bunch of beans and like
Yeah.
sitting there depressed. And like the image was already funny before I put the labels I put on it were like a new sales guy and then a giant job that was underbid, you know, like, and basically like that image though was already like I was laughing at it before I even put anything on it. So
yeah, well, I think a takeaway here too is, you know, if you're doing whether it's residential or commercial sales, right? There's opportunity to use your personal Facebook page, right, as almost like a LinkedIn, right? Like I think it's a better way. Like obviously add the people on LinkedIn, but let's just say I'm under the commercial side. I'm adding these key people to my Facebook page too. If I'm ever trying to sell to them, I'm building relationships. They're going to see my personal post, so they're going to start to build rapport with who I am, and then I can share out that information, and they're going to see it. Unlike your business page, where it seems like nobody sees anything unless you pay for it.
Yeah, exactly. And another principle I've got a couple more principles on memes. One is the people go too selly on every single one. Like your job is not to make people realize they now need a quality roofer with a meme. Okay. You're
like call me after every single meme, basically.
Right. Yeah. You're and this goes for content all over the board, right? Your job is to remind people that you exist and maybe what you do. But like there should be more jokes than there is pitch, you know, and there should
top
be
of mind awareness, right?
Yeah, exactly. And the brand being on there is the point. That's the point. You know, people seeing brand more often is the point. And then like empathy with them, especially empathy in relation to your main service. So you definitely can talk about bad jobs and problems and the experience of being a homeowner and uncovering a bunch of problems from the previous owner, perhaps. Like there's a great homeowner memes on Instagram. I think everyone should go follow that right now because they talk about that. It's all about like, it's a lot of it's about like funny stuff that the previous homeowner did. And I think there's a lot of really good principles on there. So local and just homeowner focused funny stuff. And then lastly, I'm going to note here on memes, maybe lastly, is that you can use these for follow-ups. Sales follow-up. No joke. I just followed up with somebody that I wanted. It wasn't a sales follow-up. I'm trying to shadow a marketing manager. And I just like, they hadn't responded to me. And then boom, I just put a meme in there. It's like, I literally made a meme for him. It was like, it was the guy sneaking up behind him, but it was like, Tim in your DMs again. And then it was like, you know, like him, like, Joe just trying to enjoy his day, and then it's like Tim and his DMs again.
Yeah, well, selling is an experience, right? So if you're making it fun and stuff like that, it's definitely going to stand out. Especially, let's just say they're looking at other people, and all of a sudden you're sending this funny stuff that's clearly built out, you know, for that situation or whatever. I mean, it's great.
Last bit on this, sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was saying your position, right? You're a digital marketer.
Yep.
And it's got to be tough because as a consumer. Bro, I can't even log on to Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn or check my email without someone. Do you want a free analysis of your website?
Yeah.
Like every single time.
Hey, who wants a free roof inspection though? Who wants a free roof? You know what I mean? Like, let's be honest.
Yourself?
You know, it's like the same thing.
Yeah. How do we differentiate ourselves and yeah,
be real, be funny, connect with your audience. Stop
Yeah.
trying to sell them a bunch of crap. Like
Yeah.
connect
So
with them, and then that you hook them, right?
yeah,
And then they'll come to you. You know,
we don't send any DMs or anything like that. Like, I think that I'm proud that we're at this point. I don't think I did a lot of that before, but I'm proud that we're at this point in our business where people are just coming into my inbox. So I will say that on the meme thing, people might be like, why is it really working? Is that doing anything for them? So I have to just say one credibility thing. Like, literally, I've had a lead in my personal Facebook Messenger like every day for the past month.
It's definitely working. Yeah, it's definitely working for sure.
Several of them have mentioned the memes. What's that?
And it's because of the consistency.
Yeah, and I know that this was happening. A good chunk of this was happening before the memes, but like now people are like referencing the memes and stuff like that.
Well,
So
it's all because of your involvement with the Start Book Grow Show. Obviously.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
That too, dude. That too. Sponsor these guys. They're dope.
So, question for you.
Yeah.
Where do you get the original content to create the meme? Like, give me the like. I'm a newbie. I don't know what
he's got his sources. He's got some ideas. He's got.
I'm asking.
Run out.
Hold on.
Yeah.
I'm asking for a friend.
Yeah.
If I wanted to create a meme.
Yeah.
How do I do that? What's my path of least resistance?
Yes. So the easiest way to get into this is an app called Mematic. So I'm going to show you guys. So it's just an app on my phone. It looks like that with a Mematic, and then it comes up with formats. And often I choose that one, and then it comes up with like a lot of images. Sorry, I'm leaning into
like the popular ones, basically, or what? Like the popular image.
Ones, but you run out because I've done like every single one of these before. So you run out. So I'll talk about that. But you could do all the basic ones, and then if you pay for the subscription, you can put your logo on there.
Okay, got it.
So that's what.
So you're paying the big bucks to add that hook agency.
Yeah, exactly, dude. Those big bucks, dude. The paid subscription is the guy behind there. So basically, like, you do have to start diving into other formats because these main ones get overused. And so Reddit is a really good place to go. You know what I've done? I've followed, and I did this before just because I like learning about other professions. I went on Instagram and I followed all the niche meme pages. So there's like lawyer memes, and I follow a Trader Joe's worker memes page. Like, people that work at Trader Joe's have their own memes.
Super niche, just super niche.
And I laugh at them. Like, I like them. Like, I also I like to empathize with people in different jobs. Right. So like, I've for some reason like just followed all these niche meme pages. So then you go to those, you can go like take the vibe of some other niche's meme and then just apply it to thing. And then, okay, I'll show one more thing. God, we're doing all the memes again. Oh shit, this is funny. People, like, I told people to get on this live because we're going to talk about maps. Now
at some point we will be talking about
maps. They care about memes. All right.
Dude, okay, so I have a note on my phone that's meme enemies. So part of it is like you need good. So there's
like the villain, basically, or what?
Yeah, you gotta have good meme enemies. So it's literally like, these are all the roofing meme enemies. Screenshot this.
People that roofers gets pretty much stressed out with, right?
Yep. So it's all So
think about the homeowner in this case. If you're a roofer, right? So think about who are the enemies of the homeowner, right? Things they have to deal with.
Crooked public adjuster. I don't have enough memes about that. Got ladder assist.
Yeah.
Like, I know the roofers hate the ladder assist.
Gotcha.
So Randy, what does roofers hate? What do roofers hate?
Identify your target market.
Yeah.
Figure out what they hate.
Yep.
Create a meme about it, right?
Yep, exactly.
People love hating things together too, which is hilarious. People actually like hating things together more than they like liking things together.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Which is a weird way to bond, but that is just the way it works.
It feels good. It feels good to like have a common enemy for sure. And I'll be real,
right? People like controversy.
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, it's probably easier on the roofing side too. Like, if you're talking to homeowners, because like, I don't really, some of these memes I've put together that I'm like, I don't really know what I'm talking about. I'm not a real roofer.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So
yeah, we know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but
he's got
sometimes you're like, I think
cans.
this makes sense. I think this is how the
Yeah.
situation works, but I'm not 100%
Yeah.
sure.
I've had to delete some before.
Yeah, exactly. But that's just part of
I've
it.
posted it and then been like, I don't think that actually makes sense. Whoops. Or I spelled
Yeah.
granules wrong. That was a big thing. Matt
Yeah.
Ginston
Oh,
roasted
I'm
me in
sure
one of
you
the
guys
groups.
roasted. Yeah. Then the
Yeah.
roofers, man, the roofers will roast you too. So
Granule.
if you mess up, dude, they will roast you.
Bro, it's good though. It's good.
It is. Yeah. It's all part of it. All right. Well, hey, let's take a quick shout out to our sponsors. And then from there, we can actually talk about some Google Maps stuff. But
Sweet.
if you guys have any more questions about content creation, memes, all that stuff, I'm sure that Tim would still love to talk to you about that because that's his new job is creating memes. I don't think he's doing anything else anymore. No,
Exactly.
All right. Hey, we'll start with our headline sponsors, Job Nimbus.
Job Nimbus is a fully customizable back office solution.
Track leads, jobs, tasks from one easy-to-use software.
And with the largest ecosystem of integrated partners, if we don't do it, we have a friend who does.
Learn how the #1 back office system in roofing
can help you be efficient, be organized, be professional, and be profitable.
So if you have not checked them out somehow yet, go to info.jobnimbus.com/roofing-academy to get started. And of course, you're going to need some leads to fill up that new CRM system. So you can check out Tim over here at Hook.
Is it time to turn the heat up on your marketing?
The website's now been live for 4 months. We did just under $100,000 of leads coming out of organic SEO.
Check them out, hookagency.com, or get connected with them on Facebook, Tim Brown. All right.
Committed, baby.
He
There
tattooed
it is.
it. Wow.
Tattooed.
All right. That's
Wow,
commitment
all
right there.
I like
Exactly.
that. Hopefully
That's
don't
commitment right there.
in like I did. Hey, all right, and then all right. For last but not least, you got the lead here, you got the CRM. Of course, you need a proposal tool. So you got Sumo Quote. Are you looking to stand out with your proposal? Sumo Quote is the contractor quote that crushes the competition. It is the fastest way to build custom quotes that impresses clients and wins more work. It's one of those must-have technologies for roofing contractors, allowing them to sell faster, sell more, and sell smarter. Be sure to check them out at try.sumoquote.com/start-build-grow. Awesome. Well, now back to the show. All right. So finally, the moment that everyone's been waiting for. How do you rank higher on Google?
Yes.
On Google Maps.
Yeah. So I'm going to go through a bunch of tips. I will say sometimes people are not kind of fully understanding the basics are the most important thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's really important that you do the basics. So I'm going to start with that. I just I really want everyone to get this into their brain because we're all looking for the growth hack, right? We're all looking. And I know that that's why this is interesting because people want to just shoot up to the top of maps, but everything is about doing the simple things right consistently. And if you're not doing the things that are simple and correct and consistent yet, that's where you should go first. Stop looking for the growth hack.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So number one, though, make sure your Google My Business, it's Google Business Profile now is all the way filled out. Just fill out every single category of the things that you serve. Have some nice pictures. I think having just some initial nice pictures of finished jobs and maybe your team. I like that shot where it's like the drone shot where you got the trucks and the people and they're all smiling and it's in front of the actual office. That's a good look. But use all the space that you are allowed in the business description and make sure that your primary category is roofing or whatever your kind of main thing is. I'm going to go through these kind of quick. I'll do them in clusters and then we'll stop and talk about them.
Let's do it.
2, you want to, your main city. I think often, especially when you're just starting, you should use the homepage of your website. The homepage is meta, title, and description. The homepage in your website has the biggest opportunity, the quickest in Google to rank for cities. So you want to start the I'm gonna bore the shit out of Randy over here. He's like,
Are you putting him to sleep?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Well,
I'm like,
Randy,
wait a minute.
holding back a yawn, man.
Hey, so Randy's already been there, done that.
Yeah.
Though he's already done this.
Yeah,
That's
he's
why
already done this.
he's already ranked top of the maps.
But for you guys that are just starting, this stuff will be super useful, and then we'll kind of get into some of the more advanced stuff. So your main city plus the keyword like roofing, like those at the beginning of the meta title. So the meta title is just the blue text in Google. So if you go Google yourself right now, you'll see the meta title, and then the text beneath it is the meta description. And it's easy to edit. You can use a tool like Yoast SEO or Rank Math on if you're on a WordPress website, which most people are. I like Rank Math. All the other tools have it too. Squarespace, Duda, Wix, they all have meta titles. It'll just call it title. So you just need to make sure the keyword and the city are at the beginning of that. You can use it in the meta description, all the headings on the page. So you want to use the city in there. Don't like make it cheesy. Don't just like best roofer in this city, Colorado. Don't just hammer them at the top with it, but like find a way to work it into stuff a little bit on the way, and the subtitles. There's alt text for images. So it's just like, it says like, basically it's like, if a screen reader was to read this, what would be the description of this image? You can work in the city and the service on that. And then talk about the city and why you love serving it. Talk about the city more. Why does your company like servicing that area? Talk about why it's a cool city. More talk about the city, and the homepage is a good place to start, but ideally you then have city landing pages for all of the key cities that you rank for. And for big companies that we're working on, some really cool ones, I'm not going to name names, but they have, a lot of times they'll have the major city pages, and then they'll have the suburbs around those major city pages. And you want to have at least 500 completely custom words written for each one of those sub pages. And there is some things you can do with the structure of the URLs, but that's a little like advanced stuff. But ultimately you want to have 500 words for each of these cities that you serve. And I think a good place to start is like, look at your CRM. Hopefully you're using Job Nimbus or something professional like that. And you also like look into the zip codes, sort by zip code, and find the top 3 zip codes that you're servicing and really push on those cities. I think you usually know, but it's still nice to have that data. And I'll stop there for a breather.
Well, go ahead.
Yeah. Question on, so from the Google Business Profile.
Yep.
I know there's kind of some strategies and pros and cons, or maybe this obviously one of those things that changes all the time with their algorithm. Like, is it beneficial to, you're building out these landing pages for different jurisdictions and different cities? Does it make sense to try to get Google Business Profiles set up in each one of these as well?
Yeah.
Like,
So
how would you do that?
So there's a whole spectrum of thought on this. And there's a lot of marketing guys like me that are trying to do that are trying to make the Google Business Profiles for each of the locations. And maybe they use like a PO box, or they find like they find a relative in that city and they use that address. I am on the conservative side of that spectrum. I believe you should only use that for your physical locations. So you can feel free to go against what I think is the best idea. The reason I'm so conservative on that is I've seen Google hurt small businesses that are trying to do like a really aggressive map strategy. Like, I'll just say that it used to be like Great Clips was like doing all kinds of weird hacks. There's one of those like low end haircutting places was trying to do all kinds of GMB hacks. And there's tons of them. I just have seen lately Google has really clamped down on this stuff. So I'm on the safe side of that. And there's other strategies that I've been on the more aggressive side. That one, I believe that you can hurt yourself. And I think the other bad part about it is we've seen clients rank. The good thing is we've seen clients rank even with the GMB in 2 cities over for a city name.
Mm-hmm.
So that can happen. You don't have to have it. If they believe you service that area, if the algorithm believes you service that area, your thing can show up in maps. But on the negative side, you could have a location show up that has 2 reviews, like it goes in the maps and you only have 2 reviews. That's not persuasive. I don't care how high you are in the maps. If
you gotta commit to it. You can't
gotta get 20 reviews for every location.
You gotta commit. Exactly. I completely agree with that. One thing that that I don't know if you on the content side of things, we're talking about blog posting. I thought this was interesting because in terms of some of the information you sent over to me, you said write blog posts, right? Everybody knows write blog posts. One thing that I thought was kind of funny though is you said 5 best roofers, right? And if you do that with not including yourself, there's a bonus there. I thought that was interesting. And how should people go about that? But it was kind of funny too, is you did the same strategy, right? So I appreciate you giving us a shout out, but you did a post on Hook Agencies saying, hey, if we often get asked basically, hey, if you don't go with us, who should we go with in terms of like generating leads, right? And you named 7 different companies who are actually kind of competitors in a way, right? But you mentioned us. So I appreciate the shout out, of course. But why is that? How does that work? What's the advantage there?
I just want to say I made a mistake in doing that. I made a mistake because you can use Peak Leads and Hook Agency at the same time.
You can.
So I should have more clearly stated that you can use both Peak Leads and Hook Agency at the
Amen to that. Amen to
and
that.
He's like, is this just a promotion fest? What is this?
It's just funny though. Like, how would a roofer use that though? Like, why do you use that strategy?
I'll be real with you. I don't even know for sure. I know that most roofers won't do this. I traditionally included myself in all of those lists, but I will be honest. Like, I think that was pretty persuasive. That post yesterday that I did. Like, first of all, I got a ton of views, like tons of traffic and tons of likes.
People are sharing it, right? The same
like,
network.
what? Yeah. I think it was fun to confuse people. That was fun. You know what it does say? It says we're not desperate.
Yeah.
And I believe these are good companies. And so it really comes down to, I read a book called They Ask You Answer by Marcus Sheridan, and he tells you to do that. And so I wanted to try it as an experiment. Traditionally, I've created those lists, and when we do it for roofers, traditionally we've included the actual company. I just wanted to do what I read books and I do what they tell me to do. And so I tried it, and I liked it a lot. It felt good. I felt like it was really good for like our vibe out there on the internet. So I'll probably keep on doing stuff like that, but I don't know for sure if that's right for you. But the principle is sound. You create a list on your website with 5 best or 10 best of that thing that you do. And it's weird. You actually, you show up in the maps for that. You show up in the maps for that thing. When people Google best local roofers city.
Oh, so then that article, exactly. So then that article that you write, right, pops up, and then they're on your site.
Not even the article. You go up in the maps.
Gotcha.
For that thing.
Nice.
So then it's not even related to the article now. It's just you're in the maps. It's like kind of crazy to me, but it does work. I've seen it.
Yeah, it is funny actually. I like that.
So
well done on that.
What's that?
So well done on that. That was good.
Thank you. Number 5, create 100+ local directory listings. So we do this as part of our service, but you can do it on your own as like a one-off little package thing through this company called WhiteSpark local listings. So Google WhiteSpark local listings. I would go with the most premium package they have because it cleans up all your old directory listings too. Basically, with local directory listings are huge for this map stuff and getting higher. And you want your name, address, and phone number to be consistent. This is like one of the most like basic but important things. So we're getting to the end of like the most basic but most important, but we're going to go into deeper stuff, but this is the most important stuff. It needs to be consistent. They call it NAP listings, name, address, phone number. They need to be consistent. It's worth paying a little bit more to get it cleaned up amongst all the local directory listings you have. The problem is Google's seeing your old brand name. They're seeing the old phone number. They're seeing some tracking number from 5 years ago, and they're trying to figure out, is that the same business?
Yeah.
And what the algorithm wants from you is consistency, so it knows who to trust. So ultimately, if you clean these up, it will really help your map listings. Next, 6 most important part is, I already said that part. Never mind. 7. It's basically being consistent. Once again, be consistent. 7, use local schema markup. So we use Rank Math SEO plugin for WordPress for meta titles and descriptions. We also use it to de-index thin and duplicate content on the website, but that is a little bit more of an advanced thing. But basically, it has a local business section on it, and you fill it out with all your key information, and it should match your Google business profile. And then that consistency between the NAP listings all over on the internet, the Google business profile, and your site, and the metadata on your site, just create this like picture to Google that this business is who it says it is. And it has the geo coordinates as well. So you can it basically embeds the geo coordinates of your business. Once again, it's just this consistency all through the internet down to your site. 8, man, you guys knew this one was coming. You knew it was coming. Ask your last 10 super happy customers for a review personally. And we know how important reviews are. I'll just keep on hammering. I think people think of me as the review guy because it's basically everything. And Google does use reviews to order search rankings. Ethan Andes. So he may be watching this right now, was just sharing at a business thing I went to, the roofing business school here in Minneapolis with Dimitri. And he was saying he uses on his phone basically like pre-made messages. It was so brilliant. Oh my God. I went out and did it immediately. So if you go to general, so shout out to Ethan. Thank you so much for sharing this. If you go to your general settings, on your iPhone, if you have a different one, you might, this still works. It's just different settings. And you go to keyboard under your general settings, and you can do text replacement. There's an option for text replacement, and you can put in pre-filled items on there and make little like shorthand codes. So you should make a shorthand code like .review that's like a little nice request that you can text out. So then you put it in, you craft it really well once, like, hey, small businesses live and die on reviews. If you don't mind taking 3 minutes to go leave this review, and put the link in there, and you put it in there, and then you make the shorthand code like .review. And so that anywhere on your phone and your computer, I figured out, because if you have a Mac and an iPhone, if you put .review now, everywhere that will show up. You got the pre-filled message just ready to go. It's 2 seconds away to text to any one of your customers, or if you message them through the CRM or whatever it happens to be.
So another way to do that is to type it out once and then pin it to your clipboard.
Love it.
So on an Android, I do that with a number of different things. Like, if I'm sending somebody a link to my website, or if they're getting signed up with a program or something like that, I have I have a number of preset.
That's awesome.
Like deals in my clipboard. I just, you hold your text link thing, and it pops up your clipboard, and then you look to your pinned clipboards, like click here, and then you can automatically do it that way too on an Android.
Love it. Love it. And then the next one I've got is just to kind of amp that up, because I think that that's really good for this first couple of years of your business if you're in the early part. And then as time goes on, you do kind of want to have systems and software sometimes around those things. There's Podium. Once again, that's a review. It asks for reviews rhythmically for you. There's Pulse M. I actually like Pulse M. I feel like it's not super well maintained, but what I like about it is it sends a picture of the technician before they go out to a job.
I like that, yeah.
And their name and stuff. I love that. It's like, oh, who's knocking on my door? Well, it's the guy that they texted me with the, and then it texts them right after the initial inspection. which is a hack.
Mhm.
I realized. And the reviews aren't as good as far as the language and stuff like that, but you get a lot more percentage wise, because if it's just about the inspection, oh, how was that inspection? And people say
Yeah.
you usually got the most like clout at that moment because you've got a great salesperson that just went out to that job. So it's not a bad principle to like ask for a review after the initial inspection. Apparently
Agreed.
it works really well percentage wise.
Mhm.
Reviews, get them. 10, use a local phone number. Also, if you use, I'm going to some people are going to get mad at me right now, but that's good. Controversy, right, Randy?
Yep.
This isn't that controversial, but
No.
basically,
we'll
like,
leave the controversy to Dimitri.
Yeah.
Love you, buddy. Love you, buddy. Appreciate you.
Yeah. So
You're
we've
doing
got
great.
this. A lot of people have different numbers for different things, like to track. And what I'm asking you to do is not do that with your GMB and your Google business profile and your website, because you need that consistency, right? But what we do use, and what I will endorse right now, is CallRail, which is it's a call tracking app. But what it does is it swaps the phone number out after the website loads. So it loads, and then sorry, this is nerdy, but like JavaScript, it flips the thing after the load. So in the code, your normal number shows, but then when it loads, it flips it with JavaScript to something that allows you to track that number, which I love the tracking number. I love good numbers and knowing where our leads came from, but don't use these outside tracking numbers because it confuses Google. So use something like CallRail that flips the number. Next, add keywords to your replies and reviews. You know, I'm actually not saying this at the beginning, like when you respond, do the super nice owner response. I like, as an owner, you responding to Google reviews. I think almost every size of business can handle that. Okay.
I agree with that.
You can get in there and respond and be super nice and just do authentic stuff on there. But then later on, you can go in and add keywords. So I like the initial ping for the person to see just my natural enthusiasm and excitement for their work. And then later on, I'll go add some keywords into those reviews, or I'll just put them at the end. I'll put keywords for discoverability, and I'll just put those into the responses to reviews. That one's kind of weird, but it does apparently work. Next, links to those location focused pages from guest posts and other link building methods. So if you go out into the community and you're getting, like, let's say PR or something like that, and people are linking back to you, let's say you sponsor a T-ball team in Cincinnati or a suburb of Cincinnati, and you've got that suburb landing page, like, ask them to put a link. And there's a lot of other ways you get links. I'm just giving a funny example. Ask them to put a link back to the Cincinnati suburb location page. So getting links from other websites out there on the internet back to this location page matters, especially your most lucrative ones, right? You have 3 cities that just you get most of the business from. Try to get links from especially locally focused things in that area. All right, we're getting to the end of the list. Excuse me if this is boring, y'all. Texas for 5 years, so that's not a fake y'all. All right. Sponsored. I guess I just talked about sponsoring teams and stuff like that, but sponsor teams, events, or local organizations, Chamber of Commerce. There's a couple like things in there. I don't want to go too far down the rabbit hole, but definitely getting links is really important, and links to the locations is important. For those of you that are advanced, I'm just going to throw a couple like little advanced tidbits in here. Like, it really does work to have the locations, like URL structure, and then underneath that, all your locations. And then you can build links to that locations page from out there on the internet to that locations page. And it charges up all the sub pages of that locations page, because the links, like, think about it, like, it powers up the page and it shares that power with all the sub pages. So that one's a little bit more for the SEOs watching this. Next, utilize, I think this one, now I'm getting to like the, like, maybe this works stuff. So excuse me, I'm just going to go on this, like, utilize YouTube videos with the city and the service and the title. I have a ton of videos. So sometimes I'll go back and I'll like put the niche plus service or whatever in a title, and then I'll embed that in the page. Cause then Google is seeing location. Like, let's say you had videos of jobs, like before and afters or whatever, putting the city plus the service provided, and maybe even like the zip code in there could really, like, you could see how that would work. And also YouTube often shows up in the search results too. So if it's a good job, another ad out there basically on the search result page.
I like that.
Mhm.
So on YouTube, you're just titling or putting in the description,
Yeah.
roofing project in Denver,
Yeah.
or, or
Exactly.
whatever, like specific.
Exactly.
that
There's so many
when that
unused assets out here on the internet. Like, like, I see how rich and beautiful the company cams are for the clients that we do work for. Like, there's so much good stuff. And I think we're all scared. I think a lot of roofers are scared to post that stuff, but like, I think we should be posting more of it. And definitely on YouTube, I think even a 1-minute video with the city name and the service rendered would help.
Mhm.
Love it.
15 nearby now. I actually am kind of I'm not even promoting this. I want to kind of like do a service announcement about these like things like nearby now. I think that they really overstate the benefits. This might be talking shit. Oops. But there's a couple of them. They're like these location focused things, and they tell you that the sales guys all have to sign in at every job, and like it will put it onto that location page. And I think that they really overstate the benefits, because I've seen people do that consistently over the years and seen it not do much. Like, I'm looking at sites with this on it and they were diligent about it, and they don't have any local rankings for city plus service. So excuse me, Randy. Randy's like, this is a no shit talking zone. I'm asking you guys to like look closely at like a couple examples, like find of somebody else who uses this and look at their local rankings and judge for yourself. Is that really helping, or are they sell it as secret sauce? That's what I don't like. I don't like anything where they sell it as like, this is the black magic. This is the behind the scenes black box of SEO. Like, there isn't that. It's all simple things done consistently over time. There's really not. Like, I've looked at it all. Like, I've seen it all. Like, it's work and it's time, Anyway,
Mhm.
don't get me started. I mean, everyone wants that secret fix. It's easy to sell the secret sauce.
Yeah,
because-
everyone's looking for a hack. They're looking for
Yeah.
the easy button, right? In
Yeah.
all things in life, and
Yeah.
it doesn't work. The time you spend looking for the hack and the easy button could be time allocated to being consistent with what works.
Yes,
Mhm.
exactly. That's the tweet, man. That's the one.
Mhm.
That's really good way. That's a really succinct way of putting that. It's so good, Randy. 16 Google posts. So I don't know if these are like huge, like, once again, we're in kind of the realm of it kind of matters, but post pretty regularly on Google. I think a good one is offers. So if you've got like a spring roof replacement offer or something, definitely put that on there with the date that it's offered till. I like just for visual, if they Google your name and then they have that offer down there. But other Google posts are just like, I use the keywords in those posts. I, have a good image, and then you link back to that, like either blog article or landing page or offer. I think that space is best used for time sensitive offers because it creates a little bit of urgency in people's mind. 17 Q&A. You guys thought I was done. 2 more. Q&A. So people can ask you questions on your Google business profile. You guys have probably seen that. It's just this little Q&A spot. Guess what? You can ask yourself questions.
Oh, okay. Who's the best roofer in town?
Yeah.
Oh, it turns out that Elite Roofing is.
I would try to include some city name stuff in there. Why? Like, how far of your area do you serve? How far around Kalispell, Montana do you serve? How, you can put the kind of keyword stuff that things in there, but you could also use it for like objections, like common objections. You know, what makes a quality roof? Like, why are you more expensive than competitors? That might be an interesting one if you're willing to go there, right?
Yeah.
Like, well, we actually keep the job site extremely clean. We use like a catch-all. We've got like a whole system for ensuring that you have no nails in your yard, and we're really driven on customer service. So we're trying to get your referral. You know, you could answer that and get ahead of that objection. We like, I'm going to go off on the they ask you answer train. It's true. People have done more research than you think, and pretending, man, I'm just really on this train that this guy said, but he talks about it like you put your head in the sand, you pretend that people don't know more than they know. And in this modern age, everyone knows a lot more.
We're in the information age, right? I mean, you can Google anything. You can become a roofer by just Googling how to be a roofer, like how to be a marketing guy, how to whatever. It's everything is out there, and consumers are more educated than ever.
Yeah. So he says that like consumer ignorance is not a strategy anymore.
No.
No.
And that's
you're better off going in there assuming that they already know, right? And be, you know, and ask good, intelligent questions to find out what they don't know and what's important to them, and then try to find a solution that way.
Yes. So ask, and you can ask questions that they often your best customers ask, things that feel like objections, or just get ahead of stuff that's important to those people. So many of the guys listening to this or ladies listening to this are the people that have done a lot of the selling, and they're smart and they know what kind of things that are persuasive. They're doing it in the home, and they're not doing it on the internet. So do more of what you're doing in the home on the internet. And then, my last one is more of like a cautionary tale. Number 18, don't have people editing your Google business profile from different locations. Like, you really should have people in the business editing this. We've just seen some weird stuff happen. Google is really sensitive right now, and it's like taking down Google business profiles that like people are editing, not only just like in India and Philippines, but like somebody across the country editing that. It looks, they're like flagging it, and like sometimes like taking it down entirely. And watch who you delegate this to. Like it feels like something you should have an agency do, but we're not touching them. I just told you guys all this stuff because I want you to do it, not me. Because it's a lot. Like, and if somebody took down a Google business profile because of something we did, that would be terrible. That would make me feel so terrible. So like, watch delegating this to agencies. I'm kind of suggesting you should do this internally at your company. Like, I don't think agencies should be handling good Google business profiles anymore. I really think it should be the business. It's something that's a little bit more like social media. And I'm a big proponent that you should be doing your social internally too. So, I mean, that's what I push on. But anyways, lots of stuff in there.
Lots of stuff.
Lots of good stuff. And we had a lot of good comments in here. You got Aaron, Jordan, good stuff, golden stuff, guys. Values being dropped. YouTube works for real estate agents using same SEO techniques. Yeah, love it.
Awesome.
Well, you know the dance, right? So what's the closeout, right? The golden nugget as we kind of bring this to close. A lot of great information, whether it's content, SEO, search optimization, Google Maps, all that great stuff. Now, to close this out, Randy, for the 187th time, what's your golden nugget for the day? And then we'll close out with Tim.
I'll keep it simple. If you keep doing what you've been doing, you will keep getting what you've been getting. Change it up. Change it up. Right. If you're so focused on, one thing, you got to step outside, look outside the box, and look for other ways to try to get different results. Because if you don't change and don't adapt, you can't expect the results to change.
Yep. Amen to that. Pivot, adapt. Tim, what we got?
Yeah, I'm going to just try to say what I'm doing right now with you guys for roofers in their area. I'm talking to influencers, at least one. Wait, shit. Influencer. Nick's just dope. Nick's
Yeah.
He's not technically an influencer.
I
I'm a
wouldn't
work
go
in
there, man.
progress.
I wouldn't go there.
But what I'm doing is you guys own the attention of a lot of people in this space. Who owns that attention right now in your local city? Who owns that attention? Where are they? Where are the people? So I'm pushing that local group, going on those local groups in Facebook and getting in with the influencers. And I use that pretty easily. Like I'm talking about like people that refer a lot of business in those groups, friend them, friend every single one of those that's referring somebody, and be useful in your feed, in your personal Facebook feed. But who owns the attention in your local area? How could you get around them more? How could you feed them business?
Yep.
Or feed them what they want? Uncle
Givers
G,
gain, right?
Yeah. Uncle G back here says feed power to power. That kind of spun me for a loop when he said that. Like, what does that mean? Well, it just means you think it's fun to try to like go against all these people that like have power, but what if you went and you just started like feeding them?
Yep.
And this works in the local market and it works in influencers in your city. So think about it that way. Who owns the attention? Feed them and be useful to them.
Love it, man. Well, Tim, hey, it's been a pleasure to have you on again. If you guys are interested, you can connect with Tim regarding anything with search, Google, you name it, for your roofing company, go to hookagency.com or add him on Facebook if you're not already friends. If you're already friends, hit him up with that DM, get connected. But for everybody out there, thanks so much for joining us on episode 187 of the Start Build Growth Show.
God bless.